Now, after NATO talks in Sweden, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has arrived in India for a high-level diplomatic visit. His visit comes at a sensitive time in the U.S.-India ties, with talks expected on trade, energy, defense, and strategic cooperation. And as part of his India visit, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has landed in West Bengal's capital, Kolkata. Rubio was received by U.S. Ambassador Sergio Gore during his first visit to the state. The Kolkata leg of his tour comes at a politically significant time for West Bengal, which won assembly elections for the first time. Rubio is visiting Mother Teresa's Missionaries of Charity and is expected to pay respects at Mother Teresa's cemetery and visit the iconic Victoria Memorial. The city holds a special significance as home to the world's oldest U.S. consulate, established in 1792, which continues to manage American diplomatic and trade interests across 11 eastern and northeastern states. Later today, the U.S. Secretary of State will travel to New Delhi, where he is scheduled to call on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, tomorrow, he will hold talks with External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and attend Independence Day celebrations at the U.S. Embassy on Monday. Marco Rubio will visit Agra and Jaipur before returning to the capital for the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting on Tuesday. Now, the meeting hosted by India will also see participation from Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong and Japanese Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi, alongside India External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. Ahead of his visit, Rubio had said that U.S. is ready to sell India as much energy as it is willing to buy. He has described India as a great ally and partner. Rubio's remarks are part of a broader effort by Washington to reassure India at a time when both sides are trying to manage new strategic and political differences. Rubio said Washington is ready to supply New Delhi with oil, gas, and other energy resources, and the only limit is how much India is willing to purchase. India is already one of the top importers of American liquefied natural gas. The U.S. wants to go further. Last year, the Trump administration imposed a 50% import tariff on India, including penalties linked to India's purchase of Russian oil under U.S. sanctions. Now, the tariff rate was to be brought down to 18% under a tentative trade deal announced in February before the U.S. Supreme Court scrapped the tariffs. The tariffs and U.S. President Donald Trump's perceived closeness to Pakistan have caused a strain in India-U.S. ties. Now it will be up to Marco Rubio to undo the damage. For more on the story, our correspondent Ayan Koshal has sent us a report from Kolkata. Let's listen in.
Among us tightest possible security, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has arrived in Kolkata. In his India tour, he will visit the iconic Mother Teresa House and Nirmal Hriday in Kolkata. He might visit Victoria Memorial and then return back to New Delhi, where an informal meeting with Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi to be taken on. Tomorrow, Sunday, most important bilateral meeting between K. Jaishankar and Marco Rubio is to be taken place. This meeting indicates the crisis of fuel in India, and United States willingly want to sell India as much fuel as they need. Monday, Marco Rubio is to visit Pink City Jaipur and the iconic Taj Mahal of Agra. This visit is very important bilaterally because from the year 2025 latter half, the relation between India and United States are at stake as there are so many stern decisions taken by US President Donald Trump. Now is the iceberg is now in a melting situation is to be decided tomorrow in the very important bilateral meeting tomorrow in New Delhi. With cameraman Arindam, this is Ayan from Kolkata.